Hey, what's up? I'm Aaron.
I'm James.
Now we're hanging out here at the Summit Social House with our friend Bruce, who's going to share his career and passion about being a coffee shop owner, a business owner, and a guy that really loves his coffee. Let's go.
So here we are. We're in here after hours. Bruce is just locked up and closed up shop. So we're hanging out, and he's going to give us a crash course on how to make the perfect cup of coffee.
Bruce, thank you for having James and I in to share kind of about your career, your passion, about being a shop owner, coffee shop owner. But I think we're going to show us how to make the perfect cup of coffee.
Yeah, let's get started with an Americano, I guess.
Americano. See, here, bring it up here. I think an Americano, here's what I think I know is Americano is 1 shot of espresso and hot water. Is that correct?
That's pretty close. We work with a double shot with everything. So double shot's a full shot. We're gonna do a double. We got everything pre-programmed. And we're looking for about 18 to 18.3 grams to go in to give us the flavor we want.
It's so technical.
We always put the water in the cup first, so the espresso sits on top. And we'll lead you through all these steps after. So we got the amount of water we want, we got our portafilter set, and we got the espresso poured into the water to get your Americano.
So Bruce, how did you know that you wanted to do this as a career? Like what was the first thing that prompted you to doing this?
I'd been through a few careers and a few businesses prior to this, and after a handful of years in each, I was getting a little bored and stale, and I wanted to do something that I was excited to go to every morning. I started racing bikes at the age of 17. I've always been into biking. I've had a few part-time jobs and small businesses in the cycling industry, but never anything full-time. So I knew that had to be part of it. I got into coffee about 9 years ago, and right away started being very picky and picky about what I was drinking, and started educating myself on the whole process. And pairing the two was very interesting to me and proved to be a very good business model, especially for this area.
So for people that don't know, Summit Social House isn't just a coffee shop, it's a bike shop as well. And what's the relationship between coffee and bikes? Like, what's your goal with coffee and bikes?
Coffee and road cycling go really well together. Road rides always start somewhere when everyone starts to meet up and group together. Usually it's a coffee shop or a little market outside of town where people will meet until everybody meets up together, then they take off on their 2, 3, 4 hour ride together. And a lot of times people will ride to a destination, grab a coffee, and then continue their trip home. So coffee and road biking has always gone together.
Okay, so let's see what you've made here. This is an Americano. How do you know that you've made a good cup of coffee?
There's a few things we look at. We look at how much time it took for the shot to pour out. In that case, it was 23 seconds, which is within the parameters we want this bean to be brewed at. So right there, I know about what it's going to taste like. And at the end of the day, it's a good cup of coffee if it tastes the way you want or the way your customers want. That's pretty much what it comes down to. So I'll let you give it a try.
I'm going to give it a try without. Now, you always tease me that I don't have cream. I'm going to try it without cream. Okay, are we ready? Oh, see, that's good. See, I could drink that. And I just had one before we started filming, so I'm not sure I'm going to drink the whole thing. I feel like I should, though. I feel like I should. Chug it. Chug it. It's so hot. I could not do a victory chug. It's piping hot. Could you show James how to make a latte and how to pour? You know, like you see in the commercials, like latte art. I don't know if that's kind of your thing, but can you show? I'll take the camera here.
All right. Yeah, so all espresso-based drinks, and that's everything from an espresso to a latte. Everything in between starts with a good espresso. So if you want to hop over here, I'll let you go through it. We're going to put that
in there, all right.
You hit the 2 cups.
2 cups.
A little gentler. There we go. And we're looking to get about 18 to 18.3 on the scale. So you could either add whatever you want or take out whatever you need. So we're gonna leave that there. We're gonna keep that. And to get the good espresso, you want to get things nice and level in your portafilter. And we do that 3 steps. One by distributing it with a few taps. Second one is with a distribution tool. And the third one's a nice level, even temp. So there's what we're gonna start with to get our espresso.
So one of the things we want to know is like, what kind of training do you have to go through to be a barista or a shop owning barista?
Let's start with shop owner because it's a lot faster. From what I know, there's no real or formal training. It's part of owning a business. That goes with learning from other people and experience in owning other smaller businesses along the way, which is how I learned. Regarding barista, most coffee shops will train you in-house. It's more the attitude of the person, the drive to work hard, and their personality, which is what we're looking for in a barista. And then we're going to train them the way we want for them to work in our workplace. Personally, I went and took a one-on-one barista course with a very high-end, well-known coffee shop out in Victoria in British Columbia. And they trained me on everything behind the coffee bar, from grinder to espresso machine to milk frothing techniques. So that's a good place to start if you really want to jump into it yourself. But any shop owner or shop manager will teach new staff what has to be done.
As a business owner, as an entrepreneur, someone that runs their own business, and it has to be a coffee shop, what would you say is kind of one of the most difficult things about being a shop owner?
It never ends. There's always something that goes bad. There's always work to do once you get home. Owning a business is owning a business. It's not, you don't clock out at 3, 4, or 5 when you leave. So there's a lot of moving parts, and you always got to figure it out.
Okay, and then reverse that. What's the best part?
It's fun. It's very fulfilling knowing that you built something from the start and seeing it progress and succeed. Being able to offer other people work and a workplace that they enjoy working in feels really good. And it's great to make a product, offer a service that is well received, and that's appreciated by other people around you.
Okay, James, tell us what we're doing.
I think we're still working on what were we making? A latte? Yeah. It's all coffee to me, I'll be honest. I'm like, I drink a lot of coffee, but I'm not a coffee connoisseur by any means.
Bruce, how do you respond to that?
Hey, if he drinks coffee, it's a good start. And he's gonna have fun. He's gonna have fun with the crash course in milk frothing.
So I will say though, I picked up this summer a bag of cold brew beans here and went home and figured that process out, and it was like, it's nice.
Yeah, but to be fair, cold brew, you literally put it in a jug and let it sit for 24 hours.
Yeah.
That's not that difficult.
It's not difficult, but it tastes like you taste the difference, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, that's way different from my extra large Tim Hortons.
Oh.
All right. Oh, that's fine. So I'll try to break this down real quick and let you have fun.
All right.
First thing is you purge the steam wand. This one doesn't get very hot, so it's got a little insulator, so you don't have to worry about burning yourself. I'll show you where to place it. So this is going to be an on-off. You could turn this till a certain point, and then it's on. You want to push it towards you, maybe 15 degrees, to try to get a whirlpool effect in the milk.
Right.
You want to keep it in the milk about half of that tip. So there's the tip.
Yep.
You want to get in about halfway. You put it in, then you start it. Don't move this. You can keep it locked in right there by keeping that there instead of just holding your hand.
Okay.
Once you feel the heat on your hand, that's going to be your judge for temperature. Once it starts to get too hot to hold, turn it off all the way.
Okay.
Leave the steam wand in there until it's completely silent. Then you can pull it out. That looks awesome what James did. That looks really good. So grab the cup, hold it at about 45 degrees like that.
All right.
And then when you grab the pitcher, you always want to put your fingers around the edge. So you got full control. You're not going to hold it like that.
Right.
So make sure to hold it nice and tight.
Okay.
And let's keep it simple. Just pour it in there nice and slow. And
right on top?
well,
or like down the side or what?
Let's go right in the middle this time.
Right in the middle.
Keep it simple for this one.
Bloop, bloop,
Yeah,
bloop.
you can bring it up a little higher. So the higher you go, it'll be a smaller stream, and the milk will dip down below the surface and give you a nice canvas to do any sort of artwork you want. Now you can bring it closer and a little faster, and the foam's going to now pour out and sit on the top of the drink.
Oh.
That was an awesome froth. A little too slow of a pour, which left all the foam in the pitcher, and it just plopped down at the end. If you would have sped it up just a little bit, which you don't know, right at the end of the pour, that awesome froth that he made would have come.
Look at that! Put your finger right in there.
Would have come out during the last few seconds and would have given him a little bit of stuff to draw with. Or
That's why you draw pictures, right? In it? Is this how they do it? So I'm kind of curious, which came first? Was it the the vision for this coffee shop, or did you train and did you work as a barista first and then do the shop? How did that fall into place?
I'd never worked as a barista. The idea for the bike cafe came first. I've played a lot with espresso machines at home, but never had any sort of training. So once I knew the coffee shop was a go, it was time to get some sort of formal training, and that's when, while traveling out west, I took that course out there.
So if a young person was interested in this career path, what would the steps be? So they're done high school. What would, in your opinion, steps be to getting into whether it's a coffee shop or a comic book shop or whatever? What are the steps in order to owning your own business?
First thing is make sure you really enjoy it. Go work somewhere part-time, full-time, work for someone else, learn what the daily process is. If you're really into it, ask more, try to find out what else is needed to run the business, because there might be a lot of things you don't enjoy about running a business. Maybe you just want to work in that sector and not own the business. And then ask a lot of questions, ask people who have been through it.
So we spend a lot of time back here making coffee and drinking coffee. Now I'm wired. I'm ready for a bike ride, right? We haven't really talked about the bike mechanic end of the shop. So why don't you tell us about that?
So back here we've got our storage for about 12 service bikes. We don't sell any, we don't hold any bikes in inventory. Everything's either custom order or purely service. This is our 100 square foot service center, and we've got everything we need to run a pro high-end shop in here. We try to hide as many tools as we could to give it a clean look, since we are a coffee shop up front. We've got everything we need, every spare part we need, and a pro master mechanic working behind the bench 40 hours a week.
So I started road cycling just this summer, actually, partly because of I won a jersey in a Father's Day contest from here, and that sort of got me, in a weird way, got me back on my bike. Anyway, it's winter time now, so I kind of put my bike away, but he was showing me on Umberto's bike, he has these studded tires so he can go out biking in the snow. I'm like, ooh, maybe that's why I need to get myself back out there for the winter.
Do you offer studded tires?
We got studded tires in stock.
They have studded tires in stock.
Yeah. After all this coffee, I'm ready. Give me some studded tires and let's go.
All right, so how many employees do you have here at Summit Social House?
We've got, on both sides of the business, 3 full-time employees, including myself, and 2 part-timers.
All right, well, that was super informative here. Thanks to Bruce for showing us the ropes, not just about barista, but owning your own business, owning a coffee and bike shop. Super cool concept. And if you have an idea to run a business, check it out, and don't be afraid to ask those kind of questions and move in that direction. And if you are in the Collingwood area and you just want to have a good cup of coffee, come and say hello to Bruce. Tell him James and Aaron sent you. For James and Aaron, I'm Aaron.
I'm James.
I'm gonna push James
Into coffee.
into coffee. See you next time.